Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, Please, I'm Asking You, Stop Complimenting Me on My Body. And a big shout out to Matthew for sending me this article. And guys, what we have here is an article written by a woman who, just like in the title says, please stop complimenting me on my body. And this whole article is her pretty much complaining about elements of the pressure for women, or I guess in people, but particularly women, to stay thin and all that, the diet culture she calls it and all that, and better that she would be complimented on other things than her body, you know, like her personality, maybe her clothes, earrings, decorations, whatever, but not her body. Now, I find this very funny because, as I've told you before countless times, and most of you are aware at this point, women thrive on attention and validation. Okay, they cannot function without it. The best analogy is literally like a plant cannot function without water and sunlight. It's the same thing, okay? And you're going to see as I get into this, and more as I explain, is that this is also a perfect example of how most women absolutely don't know what they want. And also, they can't make up their damn minds. Okay, you can't make them happy, right? Because she's going to say here, and she's going to get into how people should be complimented on other things than their physical appearance, and that should give them the value and worth that they, people should be valued, and their worth shouldn't be on their physical appearance, okay? And she, and you're going to see here that, mark my words, if she stopped getting compliments on how she looks, even if she looked good, guarantee you she'll be complaining then because she's getting compliments about her sweater or her earrings, but not her body. What about my body? Well, you just said you don't want to be complimented about your body. Can't make them happy. And a lot of you guys have been around the block long enough and been in relationships know most women don't know what they want. They can't make up their minds, and you can't make them happy. And you're going to see also in here elements about the body positivity movement. I'll get into that a little bit as I go here, and it's just a very interesting thing here. So I'm going to jump into it. Starts off, I spent most of my life self-conscious about my weight. Well, get in line. There's plenty of people just like you out there. Okay, it's not just you. Whether I'm in my ideal weight range or the clinically obese range, though I have serious reservations about any of these labels, I've always seen myself as fat. And thanks to diet culture, it wasn't a stress to see myself as ugly and unworthy because of my size. Okay, diet culture, you mean perhaps the culture that tells people that they should not let themselves be overweight and obese because it's horribly unhealthy as to what it's going to do to them in the long term, not just the short term, but also the long term? But I like how she's referred to as diet culture. Our nation here in the United States, it's an incredible amount, percentage-wise, of people, men and women, that are overweight or obese. Now, a lot of times people are classified or they're categorized, whatever it is, in the BMI, the body mass index, which is created by the government to basically show whether you are overweight or underweight or obese and all that. And as many of you guys may be aware, especially you guys that are into fitness or in the fitness industry, BMI is a bunch of nonsense, okay? It's bullshit, the way they calculate. Because literally, you could have a guy that could have a lot of muscle mass, a jacked guy, but according to that scale, because of his height, his weight, and his age and his gender, but particularly male, he's male, his height and his weight, because he has a lot of muscle mass, and muscle mass is heavy, and he would have low body fat, he would be high on the BMI scale, probably at least overweight. Okay, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, would probably definitely be considered overweight, maybe even obese by that scale, because the amount of weight he has because he's huge, he's jacked, right? So it's all nonsense. It doesn't factor in muscle mass. But anyhow, getting a little off track there. But the point is that in this country, because people don't exercise at all. Back in the day when people worked, more people had labor jobs, working in factories and things like that. They're moving around, they got exercise, and people didn't eat as much garbage as they do today. It's gotten really out of hand over the last few decades. So if we're at what she calls a diet culture, where basically you have elements of our culture but it's pretty much saying, hey, you ought to exercise, you ought to take care of yourself, you ought to eat well, and she's making it out to be a bad thing. Because right now we got the body positivity movement that's trying to make people think, hey, you're perfect who you are and how you look, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, bullshit. How about all the health problems that are going to be associated with being obese? Okay, there's plenty of them, right? And it's just complete nonsense. But again, in this woke era where pretty much nobody has any accountability for anything. Somebody's overweight, oh, maybe they got a problem, maybe this is. No, they're just lazy and just absolutely lazy and a slob. Anyhow, she says, my weight has fluctuated over the years, and I'll be honest, I've always loved the attention I get when I lose weight. You heard that. Neighbors, friends, even the lifeguard at my gym's pool, anytime someone says, wow, you look great, I glow. See? And you know what? The amount of work and dedication that goes into losing weight after being overweight for a long time, those compliments really make you feel good because you work so hard at it, okay? And that's great. But she's bitching about this. It can be hard work to lose weight. When someone recognizes the results of my efforts, I feel validated. So we got the word attention and validated right here in the beginning. What'd I tell you? But that's not the end of the story, and we all know it. Here comes the whining and complaining, the world's smallest violin. Get ready. The world has taught me for my entire life that the smaller I am and the less space I take up, the more value I have. I want people to notice when I lose weight. I expect them to notice. Ding, ding, ding. And I want to hear about it. Compliments tell me more than you've worked hard, and I recognize that. So she's getting into the whole value thing, how society values people that are smaller and obviously fitter and healthier. Well, it is what it is. Okay, when it comes to attraction, it is what it is. Men, for men, we're visual creatures. The top of the list always will be looks and body type. So if you have a woman that's thin and healthy looking, I'm not talking she's like super skinny or looking like those back in the late 90s, early 2000s, the Victoria's Secret models were so skinny it looked like a gust of wind would blow them over to the neighbor's yard. Okay, in my opinion, that was too skinny. They looked like giraffes, and I thought it was nasty. But now you got a time period right now where curves are popular. Okay, you get pretty girls, they got some curves. And when I say curves, I mean curves. I don't mean looking like a bunch of hippos. But we're attracted to physical beauty. Okay, and that's generally thin, healthy looking, all that. And women too. I mean, I don't see many women going out there looking at guys that are really overweight or obese and thinking they're hot either. Okay, it is what it is. And even for same-sex couples, they're attracted to people that are thin and fit and healthy. It is what it is. So don't complain about it. Don't bitch about it. Just take care of yourselves, people. Okay, but there are people out there like her that feel they shouldn't have to do that. They should have their value and worth because of who they are as a person and their personality. And yeah, you can certainly have value and worth on who you are as a person, but in terms of physical attraction and people noticing you in that way, if you let yourself go and you look like crap, what do you expect? Don't complain about it. Anyhow, they say you're more acceptable this way, and you're prettier when you're thin, and this is the right way to be. And of course, I want to feel accepted, pretty, and right. Who wouldn't? But the fact that we've been conditioned all our lives to derive our worth from our looks is a problem that's been passed on from one generation to the next, causing endless strife. Hey, you know what? It does suck. When I was in the 5th grade and 6th grade, I gained a bunch of weight. I moved from one side of the country to the other. I was unhappy. It was a totally different world. I didn't have any friends because the kids in my school were assholes. So I was sitting on the couch watching movies and TV and eating Doritos. And I gained a bunch of weight. And I was really unhappy. I knew exactly what that's like. But that unhappiness got me eventually to get off my butt and start riding my bike around, start eating better. I finally started making friends, and I started lifting weights when I was 12. And thanks to all that and puberty, where I literally grew 10 inches in a little over a year, from 12 to 13-ish, I lost it. I've been thin ever since. But I know what that's like, and it sucks, but it is what it is. This is why I want to hear why I want to hear compliments, because I'm so desperate to hear you say how fantastic I look. I'm asking you, stop. Stop complimenting me on my body. Stop commenting on my body at all. Please just stop. Yeah, and then people will stop doing that, guys in particular, and then she'll be pissed off because she's not getting compliments on her body, or she'll miss the compliments, or what? Do I look overweight? I must look overweight because I'm not getting the compliments. Well, you said you don't want compliments. There are many possible reasons for weight changes. Maybe they are battling unhealthy thought patterns. People living with eating disorders like anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating disorder have disordered relationships and distorted thoughts about food, weight, and body image. Outside encouragement to lose weight can be seen as validating these thought disorders and perpetuating their psychological battle. Well, yes, you do have people that have these problems. I'm not going to deny it for a second. But I guarantee the vast majority of people that are overweight or very, very much overweight or obese don't have these problems, okay? But people, in today's world, we got everybody that's always, oh, you don't want to say this because maybe that person has this wrong with them or that wrong with them, you know? Well, guess what? The odds are that's not the case. But again, in today's overly sensitive, overly emotional, woke world, everybody seems to think there's got to be some underlying issue. Oftentimes, it's just simply somebody who's just lazy. End of story. Or perhaps they were pregnant but lost the baby before announcing the pregnancy. It happens more often than you might think. Imagine being praised for weight loss while grieving the life you are no longer carrying inside you. Again, what are the odds that's the case? Come on. They might be suffering from a physical illness. Steroids that treat cancer and other illnesses often cause weight gain, while other treatments or the progression of the sickness can result in weight loss. Complementing the weight loss of someone who is sick or dying is the ultimate form of tone deafness. Well, let me tell you something. If somebody lost a bunch of weight because they are now eating healthy and working out and taking care of themselves, believe me, they're not going to look like somebody that's lost a bunch of weight because unfortunately they have a disease or they're dying, okay? Believe me, people that, for instance, let's just say somebody is on chemotherapy and they lost a ton of weight, and aside from obviously the hair loss, believe me, they don't look healthy. They don't have a glow to them, all right? And people can tell. You can tell a mile away someone that looks sickly. And it's sad, it's unfortunate, you know, and I wholeheartedly mean that. But compared to somebody that lost a bunch of weight because they were obviously very disciplined and worked hard and took care of themselves, okay, you can tell the difference. So don't give me this. Also, some people just accept their bodies as they are. They understand weight fluctuations is normal, part of life. They enjoy their meals without obsessing over every morsel, and they realize their worth is not tied to their size. This mindset is becoming more normalized, but we have a long way to go. Well, okay. Everybody can fluctuate a little bit in the weight department, okay? For instance, I live in New England, in Massachusetts. Guess what? It's freaking cold in the wintertime. And I'll tell you this right now. Pretty much from October until the end of March, I'm always about 5 or 6 pounds heavier than I am in the summertime. Why? Because it's cold and I'm going to enjoy more things like, you know, an extra drink, some extra pizza or junk food or whatever. I mean, I'm a trainer, but I do enjoy myself as well. So I'm always going to carry about 5 or 6 pounds more in the winter. But you can bet your ass come April, when it's warming up and I'm in the gym more, I'm trimming that right off. Okay, so you can have little fluctuations. But there's fluctuations of 5, maybe 10 pounds, depending on how tall you are and all that, versus fluctuations of 50 pounds. Okay, that's different. That's 5, 10 pounds can shift for a man or woman. Okay, that's one, especially for a guy. But when it's big numbers, no, that's not healthy. She says, shift your mindset to offer genuine compliments. Oh my goodness. Nikki, does this mean I can't pay you a simple compliment? No, it does not. If you truly want to compliment me, you can do so in a way that acknowledges my inherent value without providing commentary at my body size and shape. Compliment my sweater. Point out how my new makeup brings out my eyes, or how fresh my hairstyle is. Tell me how much you love the way I harmonized with Justin Bieber on the radio just now. Better yet, find something you love about me and tell me about it. Am I easy to talk to? Because I intuit the things you leave unspoken. Do I always know whether to give you advice or let you vent? Does my perceptiveness and social commentary help you better understand people? Better one of these compliments and then, wow, you look great. The former would stay with me longer and I would appreciate it more. This chick is high maintenance. Guaranteed that if she gained a bunch of weight, she's not going to be happy. I don't care what she says about the whole compliment department. If she gains a bunch of weight and doesn't take care of herself, aside from the health problems she's going to have, especially as she gets older. I mean, the other day I read an article that I believe it said approximately 500 million people right now in the world have been diagnosed with diabetes. 500 million people already have diabetes. Yeah. 500 million people has diabetes in this world. You know all the problems that can be associated with that, what that could lead to? Holy shit. And where does that oftentimes come from? Being overweight, being obese. And the numbers are going to just rise. And this idea, the whole body positivity movement is saying, that's okay, you can be overweight, you can obese, and look who you, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, look at the numbers. And what's that going to have an effect on healthcare? What's that going to have in terms of the cost of healthcare for people that are, premiums are going to rise? You can have people that are super healthy, in shape, take care of themselves, don't smoke, don't do drugs, hardly ever drink, and they're going to pay higher premiums because the assholes that of the body that follow the body positivity movement, they're going to let themselves go, and those numbers are rising. And because of the health problems they're going to have, the rest of us got to pay higher prices, and of course on taxpayers for things that are paid by the government. See? Anyway, she says you'll find that when you begin to highlight things you admire and appreciate about people rather than handling out surface level throwaway compliments, your mindset will begin to change. You'll begin noticing the bias in the commentary you hear around you. You'll begin to see your friends for more than how they look, and they'll notice. Lady, just eat healthy. That's it. That's all you have to do. We all know what food is garbage and what is not. Just eat healthy. Eat healthy, exercise, and you'll be fine. And you're not going to have to deal with this crap anymore. Now, of course, if you have some disease or something like that, okay, then that's one thing. But even then, actions can be taken the best you can. So guys, it's not that hard. You eat healthy, you eat good food. You don't spend your whole time eating takeout and fast food, okay? You eat good, clean stuff like that. Good, healthy, clean food. You exercise, you keep yourself moving, and you're going to be all right, okay? You may have to be a little hardcore for a while if you're trying to drop a bunch of weight, but once you get there, just moderation. End of story. But a lot of people, their outlet for stress and anxiety is food and drink, and they let themselves go completely. She says, this discord needs to change, and you can help. How we talk about the body shape and size is in need of a serious overhaul, even when we're not making judgmental comments directly to people. The conversation about people's size still goes on. I've got 2 daughters. Though no one has ever said anything directly about their weight or size, both of them have internalized the judgment society passes on weight. I'm not saying it's easy, okay? And when you're younger, you don't have the knowledge that you should have as an adult about good quality food and exercise and all that. So it's her job as a mother to obviously help them, that provide good healthy food for those kids to eat in the house, educate them and all that, because Lord knows the schools only can go so far about that. And yeah, I'm sure it's definitely, I'm a guy, so I don't know what it's like to be a teenage girl, but I guarantee you it's hard. I have a sister, but although my sister was very pretty and thin and healthy because that's my parents promoted, but still, it's especially hard for teenage girls, but still she can help them in that department. But still, the idea that's it. Everybody should just go around, do whatever they want, and eat, be slobs, be lazy, eat like crap and all that, and everybody should love you and value the same? No. And better yet, the idea that, people should be attracted to you just the same because of who you are. No. Welcome to reality. It doesn't work that way. They only need to walk down a grocery store aisle or watch a popular television show to see what society wants us to believe is the proper way to look and to start tallying how their own bodies do and don't measure up. She says, don't worry about what other people think, I say to them, just as my parents said to me. But that's easier said than done. The more we talk about other people's bodies, the more we normalize the fact that someone's body is anyone's business but their own. This commentary reinforces society's unrealistic standards of beauty and sends many unhealthy messages, including that it's okay to judge someone by the way they look. Well, I'm not saying it necessarily is okay, but it is what it is. Okay, I don't care who you are, how nice you are. Human beings, we're judgmental creatures, and we're not to mention competitive creatures, okay? And this is a woman writing this. Who are more harsh when it comes to other women in terms of judgment? Men or other women? We all know the answer to this, okay? Trust me. You get a bunch of women together and they're out somewhere. You hear them talking shit about other women. They're paying attention to someone across from her shoes, her outfit, her hair, her earrings, her makeup, okay? Tell me I'm wrong. We know this. So if this is any way a jab at guys, believe me, we're not nearly as bad as other women in the judgmental department. But as human beings, we're all judgmental. It is what it is. We do judge people on their appearance, okay? You may not like it, it sucks, but it is what it is. So therefore, take care of yourself. Unless they tell you, you've got no way of knowing what someone else is going through. Even words that are meant to be encouraging can expose wounds you don't know that are there. I get it. Looks are the first thing we notice about people. See? So when we meet after a few months or years, you'll notice if my weight has changed since the last time you saw me. I'll probably have a different haircut too, or a new clothing style, maybe a nice manicure. But who I am lies underneath all that. And if you want to pay me a true compliment, you're going to have to dig deeper. Well, there you go. There's no making her happy. And I guarantee you that she would let herself go, because I can see her make up her mind. So that's it. I'm done trying to live up to the standards of society and how it should be. So I'm going to just do what I want. When she puts on a bunch of weight, she's not going to be happy. Guaranteed that. And eventually she's going to go back to losing weight. And then the same people she said don't compliment me, she's going to be fishing for compliments on her body after doing all that, But this is a little example, again, how guys, women don't know what they want. You can't make them happy, because I guarantee she's saying one thing, but then she'll then go back down the road and want something else, And again, with the whole body positivity thing, this idea that everybody can just let themselves go, eat what they want, we shall be valued on who we are. It doesn't work that way. People aren't going to be attracted to you in terms of a romantic sense if you are obese. Okay? It doesn't matter how great your personality is, how achievements you have, how funny you are, your sense of humor, how kind you are. You got to take care of yourself. And for the physical element, if you want to enjoy your life, if you want to have a long, healthy life, then you got to take care of yourself. Because by letting yourself go and being overweight, or in cases obese, you're going to inviting all these physical problems that will definitely shorten your life. And not to mention cause a lot of problems all throughout your life, and expensive problems. Not only you'll pay, but guess what? The rest of us are going to pay. Okay, through higher health cost premiums, not just in the private sector, but also the taxpayer is eventually going to pay one form or another. And since I like keeping my money, thank you very much, definitely do that for at least for the taxpayers and the other people that pay the costs. Okay, because all the people that take care of themselves are going to be paying more, because all the jackasses that are fucking lazy don't do anything about it. I know I'm being harsh, but it needs to be said. So, but anyhow, guys, I thought you'd find that entertaining. I did. Thanks again to the dude that sent me this article. So that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.